Folks, I'm in central Bedford today, outside Cartridge Depot, a shop that sells printer ink, but there's more to it than meets the eye, because if we go inside we're going to see both a familiar face and Bedford's newest gaming store. Let's go and take a look. So yes, it's Robin, who we last saw in the marketplace, wasn't it?
Yeah, go play outside.
Yeah, which went very well.
Yeah, it went pretty well. Yeah. Could have done with a few more like new players, you know.
Right. Right.
But it was good to see the crowd that turned up. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're getting people coming past and taking
for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And now you've got your very own shop, your very own premises here in Bedford.
Yes. Well, inside another shop. It's the secret hobby shop of Bedford. So you have to go into another shop to get into this shop. You know, you've got to follow the signs on the walls and find it.
It's a bit like Mr. Ben, kind of.
yeah. I was thinking Skyrim and stuff, but no, Mr. Ben. I like that.
I'm just showing my age.
No, that's good.
So how did that come about, and what sort of setup have you got here?
So I've been doing the market stand and stuff. Obviously, I think you've come down a couple of times to said hello there, and doing shows and things like that. And it got to a point where I had two things: one, too much stock at home, and two, just half the days loading and unloading and driving, and it's just. And I don't drive because I've always lived in the town centre, so I'm always trying to wangled someone, oh, can you come and help me, and it was too much. So we're inside Cartridge Depot on St Lloyd Street in Bedford, and I came in here for a black ink cartridge, and I was very stressed because I was trying to print some flyers, I think, for an event I was doing.
And your ink always runs out.
And I ran out. So
just as you need it. Yeah.
So I came in here and I was in a bad mood, and I was like, I wanted to buy an ink cartridge and stuff. And I mentioned to Guy downstairs, who is called Guy as well, which seems to throw people sometimes. I said, I've been looking for somewhere, it's expensive in Bedford, etc, etc. And he said, well, I've got a room upstairs.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
It's just all come together, really, and lots of community help as well. So Bub at the comic shop Close Encounters in Bedford has found these old shelves and the old wire shelves they used to use, so I got those from him. And the glass cabinets come from a friend called Sam, who just happened to get an upgrade from IKEA and was like, I don't know what to do with these. And I was like, oh, I've got somewhere you can store them, that's fine, yeah. So yeah, all sorts of stuff that's come to, the bits that are like the desk and things like that, stuff like that just sort of started appearing at the house, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
nice. I like it when a plan comes together.
Well, yeah, it was. I had no idea how I was going to work the room because it's quite a small space.
But do you find that in the gaming community in general, people are very supportive? I mean, it's something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. I think there was one disappointed chap at the beginning of last week, or when I opened on Wednesday last week, and I think he had an expectation of it being more like a Warhammer shop or a Geek Retreat or a that sort of gaming space where you come in, there's space to sit down and paint, play a game,
got a table in the middle,
and the general stuff, paints and brushes and tools and things like that. But there's already places in Bedford that do that stuff, and they do it well. Yeah. So I don't want to.
And it's got to be hugely expensive to run a space like that, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
So you're probably only doing that as part of a chain or something like that.
Yeah, I think Samir does really well. He's a good independent in Bedford at Onyx Dawn Games. He's up on St Cuthbert Street, and he, like I say, he sells things like Army Painter and brushes and tools and that sort of stuff. So I thought, well, what's the point of me having the same thing for the same price on the
when you're literally just around the corner.
It's just 2 minutes. If someone comes in looking for it, I can say,
exactly. People can hit the two shops in one go.
He's already sent people my way that have come into him asking for stuff. So it's nice to have that. So you've got mostly figures and a little bit of terrain stuff and games.
Yes. And a lot of second-hand stuff as well, I see. Or pre-loved.
Pre-loved, yes. Yeah. So it's
which is great for gamers because we get things sometimes and we stop playing it and figures sit around.
The funny thing for me sometimes is the psychology of it. So, for example, I had an entire Eldari army traded in, which is from Warhammer 40,000, and when they released the new edition of Warhammer 40,000 this year, Eldari were top tier, #1 army, really, really good. Right. Everyone was winning every tournament with them. Then they did a balance, which made them slightly weaker.
Right.
And then this guy sold his whole army. And I like the sort of psychology of it, of like, oh, okay, all right, sure, no worries.
It's like changing your football team, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got to support Arsenal. Said no one ever. But,
No, but the tabletop exchange is the sort of, I don't know, what's the right word for it? The name I've given it within Hobby Hive is the exchange, and it is the most popular element of the shop. I'll be honest, it's an idea that I've seen done in a great shop in Great Yarmouth, Norfolk. I want to get it right. It's Norfolk Collectibles, Wargaming and Tabletop,
right.
some those three words put together.
Yeah.
And Andy there has been doing it for years. Took it over from his dad and stuff. And there's a good crowd in Bedford that know him quite well.
Yeah.
And I used to go up there with them and things like that. And this has sort of accidentally become a big part of the business.
It's a great idea, and like I say, we've all got stuff hanging around, and then we've all got stuff. Sometimes we was just saying earlier, a lot of people now want something out of the box. Because to be honest, if you've got to paint up figures and everything, I've just spent all week painting a 10mm army. You know,
I've seen some of your videos where you've got ships that are like this big.
I know. I don't know what I should go for 54mm. But, you know. So sometimes it's nice you can come in and you can buy stuff, and it's on the table that night. You know. Yeah,
that is definitely useful. I do try and do a mix. So I've got everything from there are some boxes in the corner down there that are pretty much brand new sealed Games Workshop boxes that people have pulled out of their lofts and traded in because they've never opened them. And then from there you go to the sprues, which are from boxes they've opened and used maybe half a box.
Right.
And it goes all the way through up to the stuff that's, like you say, built and painted. Like there's some Orc Killer cans that are completely painted and based, and some Chaos Warriors that are completely ready to go, and there's everything in between.
And 3D printing's another big thing of what you do as well.
I have decided that I don't like resin 3D printing, but I do individual characters and orders for people with resin.
Right.
I was going to be printing armies and things like that, but it's so many models and it takes so long and it's so finicky. But what I am trying to do is, for the resin side of things, is pull in local creators. So there's a guy called Ian in Rushton who he prints Dungeons and Dragons miniatures under a commercial license, and I saw him on Facebook and had a chat with him and stuff, and now I've got some of his stuff on the shelf, and basically
so this is all his
this is all his models and stuff like that. So he can print the entire monster manual, he can print heroes, he can print whatever you need. So I keep a small selection. People can just buy off the shelf, or they can say, well, I want this and this and this for my game, and
you can have the specific thing. And you were saying you're going to be doing the same with terrain pieces?
So terrain I think is the only thing I'm going to continue doing in-house, which is because it's a different kind of printing and I get on with it a bit better. It takes longer as well, so lots of people don't want to do it, but because I've got multiple printers I can do it a little bit quicker. I print Dungeons and Dragons terrain currently, which comes in just small sets, like a graveyard or a swamp or whatever. But I am going to be moving into doing wargaming, which is just same sort of idea but scaled up. So you buy it and you've got all the terrain you need to just put it on the table and just play.
And I'm completely ignorant when it comes to most tech. I can work out a CD player now and a video player, but I stopped about there. So is it a case of when you have your plan, your print or whatever, you can just print that at any scale you want? Yeah,
pretty much. So as an example, this guy is the store mascot. There's actually a naming competition in the shop at the moment.
Oh, nice.
I need to paint him and I need to fill the gaps, but he is from a file that's designed to be printed for tabletop. So he would have been, as a file, probably like that big.
My word.
And then it's been scaled up. I think it ended up being about 3,500%.
But it's incredible.
So I'm going to paint him up red and sort out all the bodge job that I've done with the gluing, and so it is possible.
How long does it take to print something like that?
So this is 8 pieces, and each piece took between 20 and 22 hours.
Wow.
So if I didn't have multiple printers over there for a while, pretty much.
It is incredible, and I mean, how much do you think it's going to change the hobby? Well, I mean, eventually change everything. Really.
Yeah, I think there's already signs of it. The fact that, for example, going to Salute this year, I went as a trader and I had lots of resin miniatures that I'd been printing.
Right.
But it was very interesting to go around and see that nearly, I'd say 80-90% of the traders there had at least something that was 3D printed. So I think it has become massively prevalent. But I don't think it's one of those things. I think there was a window where it was possibly lucrative to be a 3D printer.
Right.
But I don't think it is anymore. I think everybody has access
now. I guess you can, now the price is coming down. Again, a bit like your videos or your DVD players. I mean, now, the last time I bought a DVD player, it was 30 quid, I think. You know, the first one I bought was probably like 300.
Yeah, ironically, they're probably more expensive than that now.
Well, yeah, probably right.
Yeah, and I think I still enjoy the injection molded, the stuff that you get from Warlord Games, you get from Games Workshop.
Yes.
That stuff that you can build, because I'm a big kit bash conversion kind of guy. You know, I get I can turn that into a whatever, and I think those kits are great for that. Partly because you can clip them and shape them easier, but also partly because you get so many extra little bits.
Yes.
When I print a resin model, you get the model.
That's it. That's it.
You know, and that's it. Yeah.
So your conversion process comes in actually designing the figure. I guess.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, obviously, that may be something I look at doing more of is conversion kits and stuff, and kit bash kits, things like that. Where, and that can be applicable to. I mentioned to you earlier. I went to the Kempston District Model Railway Show.
All right.
And they there's options there for things like, well, you've got a wagon, it's not quite the right era that you want, so you need some different doors. I can print some different doors, you know, or I need a specific type of tunnel, or I need a specific person to be standing at the track, or whatever. And I think there's a lot of scope there as well for that sort of thing. And yeah.
So if you could remind people again where the shop is exactly.
Yeah. So it's on 30 St. Loy Street. It's the first floor, and you have to go through Cartridge Depot. It's the secret.
It's just next to the old post office in Bedford.
It is, yeah. Just over the road is the Sir and Berry supermarket, which smells really nice all day. Smells like kebabs and things all day. So,
and you can pop into Close Encounters, the comic shop.
Yes, you can see the Warhammer shop if you stand outside. You can see the Warhammer shop, and then a little bit further up is Onyx Dawn as well. So it's really well situated.
If there's no other reason to come in Bedford than that, then there's a good reason there.
Yeah.
And are you open the usual sort of hours?
Well, so at the moment, because we're inside the shop downstairs, for long and boring reasons, I run the same hours that he does. So I'm open Monday to Friday 9 till 4 currently. Okay. So just weekdays. But obviously the website exists. Pretty much everything will be on there.
Yep.
If you want to order something and pick it up from here, that's fine. And the club nights, I still run those every other Saturday. So
you've got all your club nights going on and your events for next year.
Yeah, all the events and things. The expo's come in February next year, and so I had someone Saturday who can't get into the shop during the week, but saw me post, I've had this traded in, and they said, "Oh, can you bring that Saturday?" So I'm happy to do stuff like that, and that's fine.
Excellent. Well, best of luck with it. It's great to see a place like this opening in Bedford. And
hopefully it lasts.
I'm sure.
No, it's going well.
Come down and have a look. There's a ton of stuff here. I'm not going to look because I've already got 5 packs of figures and stuff to pay.
I know a guy that trades them in.
All right, lovely. Thanks so much, Robbie.
No worries. Thanks for coming down.